If I would have known how hard it would be to build Compass today, I would have never done it. There's a benefit of being not knowing how hard something can be. We had to raise over $2 billion to complete the platform. What if the Fed would have started raising rates after we only raised $1 billion? Yeah. We wouldn't have been able to complete it.
And I think it shows the timing too, like timing in life, and you feel this vision to
Tell me
build
about
Compass
it.
and just go after it, and it's just like...
Someone at Columbia when I was there asked Bill Gates a question, how has luck favored in your career? And he said, it's been everything. If I was born 10 years earlier, the technology to create Microsoft would not have existed. And if it was 10 years later, someone else would have created it. Think about that. When we launched Compass and started hiring great agents, we asked them, what do you want? They were at firms, they were happy. To come to Compass, what would you want? And at that time, culture was number one. It was culture, more support, marketing, technology. That was the order. It's now changed to technology, culture, marketing, support, private exclusives.
Yeah.
But on culture, I asked them, like, what do you mean when you say culture? They say, I want to be around people that are likable, collaborative, experienced, and fully committed. And so we asked them, okay, can you tell us who those people are that meet that criteria and who they aren't? Yeah. I think one of the most important things we did early on is not hire the wrong people.
Yeah.
There's certain companies, you probably know the name, that I think are now seeing the challenges of not focusing on culture, and you're starting to see people leave more than they would have otherwise. And so culture really does matter at the highest level, because the way I describe a good culture is, a good culture is one that gives you energy, that doesn't take it away.
Yeah. And
in this industry, like a lot of industries, they have what do you call energy vampires.
Yeah.
People that suck the energy out of you. And so we try to do our best to screen people for being culture carriers.
Yeah, that's amazing. Switching gears kind of deeper into just the real estate in general, it's obviously a really kind of disruptive time, lawsuits, NAR, all this stuff. I mean, if you started Compass today, what would you do anything differently than you did, when you did start Compass?
I wouldn't start Compass today.
Yeah. You're like, no, I'm good. No,
I mean, honestly, I think two things. One, if I would have known how hard it would be to create Compass, to build Compass today, I would have never done it.
Yeah.
I think there's a naivety, there's a benefit of being not knowing how hard something can be.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to raise over $2 billion to complete the platform. Yeah. Right? What if the Fed would have started raising rates after we only raised $1 billion? Yeah. We wouldn't have been able to complete it. And it's never done, but we wouldn't have been able to get to the sufficient level of impact for the platform. We wouldn't have been able to be in all the markets. Now we're the number one brokerage firm in the country for 3 years in a row by sold volume. Of the top 1,000 agents in the country, more agents are at Compass than any other player by far. But we wouldn't have been able to build it. And then if I would have known that in the middle of this journey, the Fed would have raised rates faster than any time in history, and mortgage rates in March 2022 would go up 2 full percentage points from 3 to 5. Never happened before that fast. And then just 3 months later, in 1 week it goes from 5 to 6. It never went up that fast in either a month or in a week, and shut the market down. Yeah. And then last year we had the lowest level of transactions in the country since 1995. And the population's 30% larger today than it was back then. Yeah. And so, if I would have known all this would happen.
You're like, no, I'm good. Yeah, I guess it's for anyone. You just go, and I think it shows the timing too, like timing in life, and you feel this vision to build Compass and just go after it, and it's just like, go ahead.
There's someone at Columbia when I was there asked Bill Gates a question, how has luck favored in your career? And he said, it's been everything. If I was born 10 years earlier, the technology to create Microsoft would not have existed. And if it was 10 years later, someone else would have created it. Yeah. Think about that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of the real estate market, obviously, where do you see the real estate market next 5, 10, 20 years? And same with Compass. What's kind of the vision going forward 5, 10, 20 years?
Well, there's transactions and transaction volume, and then there's price. I think the Fed is going to lower rates on September 18th. I think there are a number of buyers who are waiting for that point and don't fully appreciate that much of it is already baked into the 10-year, which drives the mortgage rates. And so now is a very good time to buy, when a lot of buyers are kind of waiting for that September 18th moment. So there's, in a way, I guess, artificially less demand than there would be otherwise, because, and this is just what I hear from our agents, people are saying, let's wait until September 18th.
Yeah.
I think that transaction volume, if you look over the course of the last 30 years, it's gone from 4 million homes sold a year to 7.2 million homes sold a year. And the mid cycle is around 5.4 or 5.5. The last year is 4.09, right? Lowest levels in 28 years. And the year before that, it was depressed. And right now, it's depressed. So what that means is that there's a lot of pent-up demand. I think when the market comes back, it's going to come back strong, and it will surpass the mid-cycle on volume. And the reason why it was artificially suppressed is 4% is mortgage rates. In the beginning of 2022, 75% of homeowners had a mortgage rate of 4% or below, effectively locking them out of selling their homes when mortgage rates went up to last fall to 8%.
Yeah.
Now it's almost 50%. So in about 2 years, another 2 years, it should be around 25%. At that point, the lock-in effect of not being able to sell your home because of the low mortgage rates will be gone.
Yeah.
But if mortgage rates go down faster than expected, it could be gone earlier.